All right, what's going on, guys? Quick update. I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as possible and with as few edits as possible, but I don't know. There's a lot of juicy things in here, so let's get right into it. So here's a quick update on the whole Bobby Lee, Brendan Shaub situation. So yesterday, they dropped the audio-only version of the podcast on Apple Podcasts, and then today they dropped the video on Tiger Belly. So I highly recommend you go ahead and check that out because it's fucking great content. It's good. You know, the audio is great, like, you know, knowing what's going on and hearing both of their perspectives, but watching their reactions and watching them, some of them like struggle, it's fucking great content. So I highly recommend going ahead and check that out, then come back and I'll give you my summary. So let's get into it. Because let's be honest, Brian Kelling is a smart dude. He can talk and he can get his word across. He's super intelligent, but he's always a nice guy. Like, he never really like trashes anybody and stuff like that. So it's very interesting to know that he has that side of him. Of course, everybody does, but even Brendan said that he's done it to him once in the whole like 12-year career that they've been together and whatever. So that is one thing that is very interesting. I wish there was an audio of that phone call, which there should be. They also mentioned that from Bobby Lee's perspective and Khalyla, this whole Trash Tuesday beef, it's directly correlated with the subreddit. Their perspective is Brendan Shaub got heated because they were talking about him on the podcast, making him, you know, telling everybody he's unfunny and that he tried to hit on people, making him just look like an asshole. And if from what they thought, Brendan Shaub got super heated from this and then created this conspiracy that the Tiger Belly crew was behind the subreddit so that he could justify being that mad at them and screaming at them and do everything that they did, right? That's what the Tiger Belly team, Khalyla, Bobby, that's what they're saying. What Brendan Shaub is saying is, no, hey, there was actually an investigation going on. We got information or a tip that it was one of you guys' email. And then that triggered everything that came at Bobby. Now, here's my thing. One, Khalyla was wrong for talking shit about Brendan Shaub. Let's be honest. I'll give you shit. It's very funny. You can see on one of the clips or on the video, she's like, you know, she's saying that she's talking shit about Brendan Shaub, and then Shaub is like, hey, do you think that's nice? And then she goes, oh, no. And then he goes, And then she goes, but is it a crime to have a little girly talk? And that's kind of where I like, that's where she lost me. Like, you want to be the tough person. Obviously, from Bobby and Khalyla, she's just the tough one, right? She's clearly the tough one. So you want to be the tough person, talk shit on a podcast, and then when shit comes back to you, you call it a little girly that's kind of cringe in my opinion, right? I mean, that's pretty low, but that's what she said. You know, she was like, yeah, it was just a conversation, we're having fun, we didn't say your name, and that's fair. But come on, like, we know how the internet works, we know how Reddit works, we know how these people will put two and two together and they'll know that it's Brendan Shaub. Even if you're just like a casual fan, you'll likely know who they're talking about. So that is actually pretty fucked up to put that out there, especially since Brendan Shaub denied that he tried to hit on Annie Letterman by having her walk him to the truck, which who the fuck knows and who cares? There's just no proof. It's just dumb things to bring up on a huge podcast when you're a comic. Like, if you're a comic, I feel like you don't need to rely on that drama, but they did. So they brought up the fact that he tried to walk her to the car, and then Khalyla was like, oh, it's the same guy that tried to hit on me. But that was 7 years ago on a DM. She even said it. She was like, I had fresh new tits. You liked them. You DM'd me. They talked about it. They talked it with Bobby Lee. It was squashed. Brendan Shaub apologized, acknowledged that. So there's no denying that. But, you know, talking about it on a podcast, the way they did it, it was pretty fucking heated, right? It wasn't like a fun, like, oh yeah, this guy's a fucking, yeah, he tries to hit on everybody. No, it was like, yeah, like, this guy, he tried to hit on me and he's not funny. Like, whoa, it was pretty heated in my opinion. So did that justify Brendan Shaub's reaction? I mean, let's be honest. You're talking shit on a podcast and leaving hints that Brendan Shaub is not funny and that he is trying to hit on all the girl comics. while having a wife and like 2 or 3 kids, right? So from that perspective, if you compare that to what they're accusing Shaub of doing, which is, going to Daddy Rogan, going to Whitney Cummings, Schultz, and then just trashing Khalyla, because she said that she heard, and now here's that I heard that it can't confirm, but she heard that Shaub was just trashing her, saying that she's a gold digger, that she's a thief, that she's been stealing from Bobby Lee, and that she was behind the whole subreddit thing. Whether that's true or not, shit, I mean, Shaub just did it privately to one of the biggest people in the fucking space. So that to me is fair. You did it on your podcast with 3 girls that could, pretty much confirm your bias and say, yeah, he's a fucking asshole, he tried to hit on me, come at me, bitch. You think you have shit on me? And then, so here's the thing. If she was like, come at me, you think you have shit on me, you don't have shit on me. But then if he does have shit on you and he spreads it with the most influential person in the world, Joe Rogan, that's what you call for. So that part of the whole conversation where she was like, oh, like, I don't believe you that you didn't do that. Maybe he's lying, but if he's not, if he actually said that, that's what you call for. You're like, hey, put it all out there. So it's out there. Now you're getting heat from that because here's 2 different narratives. And here's the thing. When it comes to Bobby Lee and Shaub, I'm gonna say this again, I love both of them. I like both of them, but here's the thing. You can paint 2 different perspectives for both of them and actually fit. You can paint Shaub as the asshole friend that got rich off of Rogan, betrayed Callan, and is now an arrogant asshole and all this stuff, right? And then you can paint Bobby as the cuck, as the submissive dude that betrayed Rogan and had been sketchy all this time, and then has a wife that she's a gold digger, she's way too fine for him. Like, you can paint those perspectives. So it's not like both of them worth reaching. It's like pretty fair, right? So it comes down to this. Shaub and Khalyla have a pretty bad track record of addressing internet drama, okay? Now, they're great comics. They're fucking great comics. They can talk about it and they make it entertaining. But I just believe their decisions, like the Ariel Helwani situation, it didn't really go well for them. So like, I think it's just in this specific scenario, I think it was just Brendan Shaub blew it up to a point where it didn't need it to be. Could have maybe been addressed or handled differently and still have the same results or very similar results, where it's like them talking about it and then just kind of addressing it and squashing the beef. At least just Shaub and Lee. But they kind of took it, they kind of just went bam, right? Like they just started threatening, sending very nasty messages. So that's kind of where it got nasty. And I don't know if they'll learn, not sure. I mean, it's a repetitive pattern of just like punching back hard when you get hit. For example, when the guy, when I think his name is Malik, the black dude that left the podcast way back when Brian Callen wasn't on the podcast for his allegations, he also left the podcast and then went on his own thing, trashing Shaub. Well, not trashing him, but just kind of talking shit like, hey, this is what I didn't like, blah, 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 blah. But nothing came out of it. It was just like, they just ignored it and it didn't get any bigger, which is, I guess, that's how it should work. They thought that was going to be the case with this one, but the thing they didn't realize is, bro, if you have beef with Malik, with Malik, I think, only a very subset of people will follow that beef. But if you beef with Bobby Lee and Khalyla and the 3 comics, that's content. That's juicy. That's actually a good idea. So the people are gonna eat it up. So if you're a podcaster or an entertainer, you should know, what is this going to do? Like, what is this level of drama gonna bring up on the internet? Because this is not a fucking news. This is all internet, like very subreddit drama. It's not big. It's big to us, like fans of the Tiger Belly and Fire and the Kid podcast, but it's really not that big. So I think they just addressed it wrong the first time. Now they're cool. Brian Callen and Lee will never be friends. Maybe Maybe that'll change. Now the conspiracy that this was all a setup to get more views. No, dude, come on. Like, this really hurts Shaub in a way. Okay, so I don't believe, and I don't give him that much credit either, that this whole thing was orchestrated to promote what, the Gringo Pappy? Dude, that thing's at 800,000 views or 750 or something like that. It's not like it fucking popped after this whole thing. And it's not like somebody's gonna be like, oh my God, this is drama, let me go watch this comedy. No, it doesn't work like that, in my opinion. So that's that. I'll end the video now. Summary, they're cool now. They talked about it. No more drama is gonna appear from this. So we're done here. Move on to the next subject. Thanks for watching.